So welcome to Five Questions. Today my guest is Amir Reiter from CloudTask. So thank you for being here, Amir. It's great to catch up with you. You're normally in Colombia, now you're in Miami. So
Now in Miami.
yeah, for anybody that doesn't know who you are, can you give a little bit background on yourself and CloudTask?
Yeah, I'm a hardworking entrepreneur like many people who are listening, and I founded CloudTask, which is a technology-enabled BPO that specializes in sales as a service, and we also do customer success and support. And we're transforming into a technology company, but that's the later half. Right now, we're mainly technology-enabled people.
For CloudTask, and I've had experience working with CloudTask when I was at Ipswich, and you guys were hugely instrumental in the success that we had from a lead gen and revenue standpoint. But sort of, what's your ideal customer?
Well, it's a customer that I would say has product market fit and has scalable, repeatable processes in place that can be, outsourced in a way that can lead to greater scalability, more repeatable outcomes at a lower cost, right? So, company that, when we work together, you happen to have product market fit. Companies around for 20 plus years. You had a database full of customers who've known you for a long time. So we were able to re-engage those customers and convert them to opportunities. And then also you had really good traffic on your site when we did sales chat, right? So I think companies for us that are Series A, Series B, profitable, been around for a while, private equity, and just really have a process in place and are come to us and say, hey, whatever advice you have to make this process better, let's hear it. But if not, let's do all of these functions consistently, say the right thing, and start measuring the results and scale where it needs to be scaled and pull back where it needs to be pulled back. And this really allows leaders like yourself to not have to focus on the management of the day-to-day employees and get more repeatable outcomes and reporting that you need to make higher level decisions.
So with that, when you come in and you get engaged by a company, are you normally engaged by the sales team or the marketing team?
I would say 70% of the time the sales team, and then 30% marketing team. Yeah.
So I would think that part of the challenge and what allows you to be successful is being able to integrate, even though you're remote, but to be able to integrate your CloudTask team into the existing employees.
100%.
Are there some key learnings or takeaways that you found over the years? Is that if we do these two or three things, then integration works a lot smoother?
On-site visits for training and enablement are great. They're great because it's great for team building in the same way you'd hire somebody remotely. And then, I would say, having just a clear onboarding agenda and walking through that normal agenda really works. And just setting up realistic expectations is the biggest key here, right? Don't expect a team that's outsourced to get up and running in a week when national average and your average is 3 months, right? So just being very realistic, setting them up for success.
Yeah, one of the things that we found at Ipswich that helped us was making sure that the CloudTask team was involved in our internal sales meetings.
100%.
Because it breaks down that barrier, because it's just like we're having conversations. It's all on Zoom. Everybody gets to know each other, and it's not us versus them. It just becomes us as a
100%.
sales team.
Yeah, just us plus the managers that are there to make sure the employees succeed, right? Just amplification, and you got that concept, right? And that's just the understanding. And I think with this COVID world that we have now, remote work's going to become more common. And I think just understanding that it's not the engagement, it's the results that matter. Who's representing a company, how are they representing it, what's the result that they're executing is going to be the future.
So that leads into, how are you seeing companies react during coronavirus?
A lot have been fearful. Some have been really affected that have been in health, and education and other industries. And some have been bullish and growing. Like a lot of our VoIP customers are growing like crazy. So it's just depends on what service you're selling. I think technology is poised to grow, right? And I think the future world's going to look like a world that we already lived in for a long time. Like we've met physically, but we've also met remote plenty of times, right? In a different country most of the time. So I think we were playing in that world already. But a lot of people weren't. We just forget that 80%, 60% of people were not on Zoom meetings, right? I've been on Zoom meetings for 6 years. So have you. So I think it's time for them to catch up, right?
Yeah, and I'm really fascinated to sort of see what the repercussions are, what the fallout is from this. That, what's the long-term business change is, if it's 2 or 3 months of people working remotely, then what does that impact become? Where it's like, we're successful, we're meeting our sales quota, right? So why can't I continue to work from home? Why do I have to spend 3 hours a day commuting back and forth when my numbers have shown that?
Yeah, we just made a really big investment in a corporate headquarters that can seat 250 people. And even before that, I was saying, you know what, if we get to 500, 700 employees, I don't want office for 500, 700. I want the same 250, and people can alternate and come in for meetings when they need to.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, we were set up for remote work to begin with, so we haven't had any issues with remote, but it goes to show you that, after this is done, right, like I think we just have to have more of a model that it encourages people that after a certain amount of time they can work remote, if they're hitting their KPIs, can work remote, and just being more flexible and without having to pay rent, that you can give back more to your customers, right?
Yeah.
But it's crazy to see the long-term effect of the world, because a lot of our world is built around office space and real estate. So it's like, what happens to that office space in real estate if you don't have to go to the office anymore?
Then it's, at least in the States, in Boston, you've had more and more people move into the city, because that a lot of the companies have been building office space in the city, which is super expensive. But then if that goes away, then what's that repercussion from not only the local businesses, but from a corporate standpoint? As you said, now I can hire people from anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
Last question I have from you is that since you've been managing and working with teams who've been working remote, any tips on sort of how to get the best out of your people who are working remote?
Yeah, focus on the goals, not on the are you working and on the micromanagement, right? I think keeping your head focused on what are our goals, because they haven't changed, right? And if we're hitting those goals, I think encourage people and just be positive instead of worrying what they're doing. And then also there's definitely technology out there that can help with payroll and managing activity levels. If you need to go down that route, things like hubstaff.com, Time Doctor. So there's already technology out there that, can take the worry out of remote people if you want to. But I would say just focusing on the results and not just nothing has changed, right? And if the results aren't there, then take a look at what's going on. Are you getting up at the same time? Are you, are you focused? Are you distracted, right? Some people can work well with, some people can't, right? I think a different situation, if some people have kids at home, might be a little distracted, right? Just being mindful of the situations that people are in, because everyone's adjusting.
Yeah. Awesome. Great insight. Thank you very much, Amir.